To make my windows, they are 4 centimeters by 6 centimeters, and I'm using the coffee stirring sticks. To make my windows, I'm using a 2-litre soft drink bottle, and all I'm going to be doing is cutting it off at the top and at the bottom. I've cut the top and the bottom off, and I've got this tile which has got some nice patterns in it, and I'm just threading the bottle onto that, and then I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm going to shrink it onto the tile so I can get those nice patterns in my glass. It takes a little bit of time to do it because you want to go slow. You don't want to go onto the hottest setting because you don't want to burn the plastic. So I'm going to do it, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. So we're just putting it on this low setting, and then it'll just shrink, but it does take some time, so I'm not going to be filming it. I also like to make sure that I've got the sticky section on the side because I won't be using that. It's all shrunk down, but it doesn't look like it's actually gone into the grooves, but we'll only know once we open it. So now on the sticky side, I'm just going to take my box cutter and cut that piece off. I've cut the piece off, and as you can see, it hasn't got the pattern into it because when you shrink the plastic it gets just that little bit thicker, but I'm quite happy with how it's shrunk down. So now I've got some windows for my little house. I don't know whether you can actually see this, but there's a very, very small difference between some of my sticks. So these thinner ones I'm going to be using to make the frames inside the window, and these slightly thicker ones are going to be for the frame that goes around the window. So I've got my templates placed onto my little piece of plastic that I just melted down. So now I can start gluing these little sticks to make the frame. Before I glue anything together, I've just taped my little pieces to my cardboard, and anywhere that I've got a little bit of an overhang like that, I'm just taking one of my nail files and I'm going to file it straight, because my little pieces of cardboard are the perfect size and perfect measurements because these were all cut on a guillotine. So my little pieces of wood that I just cut, I cut by hand, so obviously there's a bit of an error. So got one side that's perfectly flat, and this one's got a tiny little overhang which I'm just going to file off so that it's exactly straight. I've got all my little sticks cut to size, and I'm using my little piece of cardboard that I made for my templates, and now I'm going to glue these little pieces all the way around the sides. I'm using T8000 glue. It's got a really nice thin little precision gluing tip, so we just glue those on. Before I glue any of the wood to the plastic, I'm going to be painting all the wood black. My windows are all dry now, and now I can take out the little template that I put in there. I taped it inside so that it wouldn't shift, and now I'm going to be placing my little crossbars in them. And once again I'm going to be gluing those in with my T8000. I've got all the pieces glued in, and I'm taking a thin piece of toilet paper. I've got 3-ply toilet paper which I've split into 3, and then I'm going to put that behind the window to make little curtains. I've flipped it over, and I'm just taking some PVA glue and going to be gluing along the little piece of wood at the top and then at the bottom as well. And then I'm scrunching it up so that it's not so flat at the back. And then I'll just cut the excess off. And I'm doing the exact same thing for the other window. I've glued all my windows in place, and there they are with the lights off, and now the lights on. Thank you so much for watching.